Step 6 teaches you about the compositing workflow. This is the second workflow that we'll be covering in this tutorial, and it focuses on compositing using layer masks. This is a compelling feature of Photoshop that is used extensively. The main scene that we are working with, we can see the sky is white and kind of dull. To fix that, we will replace it with a new sky that serves as the background in our project. Since we are working only with non-destructive editing techniques, the source photo will not be altered by applying a new sky. We begin by opening our next source file, which contains a lovely blue sky with some clouds. Choose Open from the Photoshop File menu and navigate to where you saved the project files. Now open the document named sky.jpg. The image sky.jpg opens in a new tab. Press Command A on a Mac or Control A on a PC to select all of it. Then press Command C on a Mac or Control C on a PC to copy it. Switch back to the first tab and paste the image into the project that we're working on by pressing Command V on a Mac or Control V on a PC. Select the new source layer and double-click on the layer name. Give the layer a descriptive name, for example, Sky. Photoshop automatically creates a new layer above the currently selected layer. Since the sky is a background in our scene, it needs to sit behind or below the other layers. To move the layer Sky to the bottom of the stack, click on it and drag it to the bottom. We are now ready to create a layer mask on the scene layer to hide the sky and let the new sky below shine through. There are a couple of different ways to achieve this. In this tutorial, we will demonstrate how to do it using Quick Selection tool and the Brush tool. Let's start with the Quick Selection tool. Make sure the scene layer is selected and choose the Quick Selection tool from the Photoshop Tools menu and drag across a portion of the sky in the scene source image to select it. With the selection active, go to the row of layer functions at the bottom of the Layers panel and click the button Add Layer Mask. This is number 5 from the right. Take a close look at the new layer mask thumbnail next to the scene layer thumbnail. As you can see, it has a white area on top and a black area below. Layer masks in Photoshop work of a simple principle that black conceals and white reveals. This means that what is masked by black in the scene layer will be hidden from view, allowing the layer below to show through, and what is marked by white will show normally. Looking back at our image now, we can see that the mask does its job, but it needs to be inverted to achieve the intended effect. Click on the layer mask thumbnail to select it and press Command I on a Mac and Control I on a PC to invert the layer mask. You can also use the Brush tool to create or modify the mask. All you have to remember is that areas painted black will be concealed and areas painted white will be revealed. Let me demonstrate how it works by editing the mask we have already created for the scene layer. Click on the mask thumbnail in the scene layer to select it. Click on the foreground background color picker in the Photoshop toolbar and set the foreground color to black and the background color to white. Or simply press D on the keyboard to set the foreground color to white and the background color to black. Press X to swap the color so the foreground is black. Click and hold the brush tool, pen tool button in the Photoshop Tools bar and make sure the brush tool is selected. Click on the brush tool preset picker in the Photoshop options bar and set the size and hardness to the desired values. Find an element in the image that you want to hide and add it to the mask by painting over it with black. If you accidentally painted over something by mistake, press X on the keyboard to swap the foreground color and background colors and paint over it again with white to bring it back into view. When you're happy with the mask's appearance, use the Photoshop Move tool to situate the sky how you want it. You can also apply adjustment layers to the sky if you want to bring out the colors in the sky even further. Follow the instructions in step 4 to add vibrance to it. We have now completed the background and middle ground of our image. It is time to move on to the foreground. Press Command S on a Mac or Control S on a PC to save your changes.